started, but this song was written even earlier. Wars Will Change Us. It actually emanated after a fight I had with my wife, right? And it is the
You mean a domestic war, my friend?
it was entirely a domestic war, and it wasn't even a war. It was a small, regular, let's say, border skirmish. It's like, so I'm making Sufi refrains on my English songs, which is a trip. Which I trust me, people are not doing this. They haven't. It hasn't been done. Now, whether they haven't done it because it's not a cool thing, I don't know. But I think it's beautiful. The songs are sounding lovely. So
Wisdom can be used either to bring peace into this world, or wisdom can be used to manipulate people, which is so awful that people are choosing the latter.
I wanna go all that way back home. And then there's a lovely electronica. That's a completely manufactured, spliced of different things, which, Simon Edwards has come out with.
All right, an old friend in studio, Druv Kent, came to us about a decade and a half ago first to 94.3 Radio 1. I instinctively loved the guy. Investment banker turned musician who had released a single called Little Bit of God, which I'm mighty proud to say Radio 1 really championed. We played and we played and we rotated it. Kobad Mobajina, myself, and the entire team, and it became pretty much a worldwide blockbuster, that song. Subsequently, Druv Kent has made appearances very often in our studios, and we always welcome him. This time around, it's special because this is a precursor to two gigs of his, one in Gurgaon and the other in Mumbai city. And like Druv just told me off the mic, this is the life for him, going out with the Druv Kent band and performing and reaching his music to live audiences. How are you, my brother? Good to see you.
Very good, my friend. Thank you. Lovely to be back with the Hrishi K and Radio 1.
I'm going to just do a look back over my shoulder. You've just done a gig at Kasauli. Now, this is the great Khushwant Singh's literature festival that's named after him.
Yeah.
And it's nestled up there in the pristine hills where Khushwant had a home.
Yes.
Still has. I don't know who lives there.
His son, Rahul.
His son.
Yeah.
So talk to me about that gig. Must have been lovely. What was the audience like? How long was it? Pray, give us all the details.
Yeah, it was absolutely beautiful. So, of course, Kasauli, nestled in the hills next to Simla, in the middle of Himachal, 2 hours away from Chandigarh by car, out of which more than 1.5 hours is just in the hills. So you have to get your stomach ready to get there. But once you're there, it's just beautiful. You've got snow-capped mountains all around, and it's a bit early for this time of year to be so cold, but it was beautiful. The festival itself is also special because, firstly, you've got music festivals, obviously, which are one type. Then you've got literary festivals. And then this festival in particular, I think it invites a certain type of personality, a certain type of thinking, which is very liberal-minded, very happy to have opinions, but also looking for honest, constructive conversation and dialogue, happy to have disagreements, but civil disagreements, something that I think we can do a lot more of and better with. And so those things, so you've got luminaries, from Delhi, Mumbai, Calcutta, everywhere coming in, all big names, and they all actually sitting across the table, disagreeing and on the mic and having fun, jibing at each other and just being able to come to areas of agreement as well. Beautiful, really lovely.
So what was the playlist like? And did you have a bass player? Was it you on acoustic or lead guitars? Do you have a keyboard player? Do you have a drummer? The Druv Kent band is what?
The Druv Kent band is a 6-piece. So we've been now touring around. We've done a fair amount of gigs across the country, across Singapore, of course, where I'm actually based, Southeast Asia, and we're doing lots of corporate events, etc. It's a 6-piece band. We have me on acoustic guitar and vocals, and then we have me on acoustic guitar and vocals. Just touched the mic by mistake. And then there is my lead guitarist, who is amazing. His name is Milton Daniel. He's a Mumbai boy. The whole band is Mumbai based. And him and the drummer Bhuvan are the lead actors, if you will, for Udit Narayan's band, for Aditya Narayan's band. So these are really top class professional players. They can do all kinds of music, and they obviously love the music that I make and we do live. And then we have a keyboardist, and we have an amazing bass player, and we have a female singer. So we kind of, to make sure people just don't hear my my voice only, and we can do a variety of different music if you add another two vocals. So we actually have three singers within the band, myself, a female, as well as on guitar. So
So let me get this straight. It's not just Druv Kent material. Then you're also doing covers.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely right. So it's a very unique offering. So what we're doing is we're doing a third of the songs are, let's say, my own original songs, or maybe closer to half, maybe 45%. And then the other half and plus songs are covers, which are Hindi songs, which I think I can own a little bit, quote unquote, which are, because I have this slightly westernized Hindi voice, and I do that. And then we have obviously English songs, which are some classic songs. And we're doing songs like Sledgehammer and, some stuff which people don't usually do, but that's the kind of jam that we are into, and that, we just keep changing that up. Yeah.
That's lovely. And the audience was a mixture of locals, authors, poets. What was it like? And were they grooving to your set?
Yeah, it was absolutely. So it was a very interesting set because firstly, the audience, Kasoli itself is about four shops. It's that small. And then it sprawls, so you keep driving for 5 miles out and you'll keep seeing signs for Kasoli are here. This is Kasoli. And actually Kasoli itself is just 4 shops long. So it's one of those kind of places. But the local people are there, but really this is a crowd which comes in from the cities of India and from all other places. And a lot of people own homes in Kasoli, as you said. Khushwant Singh himself had a home there. And he was
I think Rahul Bose's dad also owned a home
exactly
there. Yeah,
just
yeah.
right there, and our mutual friend Atul Churamani, his family home is also up right next to Rahul Bose's house. So it's like, a whole bunch of people have their second homes or their vacation homes have been there over the last 50 years. And a lot of them have become guest houses effectively at this time of the year where people come and live there. And I was a guest at someone else's home. Again, beautiful sprawling bungalow, but you have 100 steps to climb between your room with your big guitar case and the car. So good luck to you getting the guitar out.
All right. So for those of you who haven't got the Druv Kent band live, they're coming to Gurgaon and Mumbai. They're playing at the Quorum, the Gurgaon Golf Course Road, and the Quorum here in Mumbai, Lower Parel. Now, if you're a Quorum member, you can get in. If you're a non-Quorum member, you need to register. And Druv's been very kind to say that if you go on to his Instagram handle, which is Druv Kent, it's DRUV Kent. You remember, it's not Druv with a H. So Druv Kent. If you go to the profile and you click on links, you will have a registration link. So October 24th, which is a Friday, at 9 p.m. in Gurgaon, you can register. And then the very next day, 25th Saturday, he's in Mumbai at 9 p.m. It's going to be fabulous. All you have to do is register. And the same set of musicians?
Same band. And the only thing I would urge is that people should register early. This is a one time we've got this kind of collaboration agreement, if you will, with the Quorum. Because Vivek Narayan, who runs or has founded the Quorum, is a friend. And he likes my music and I love the Quorum. And I thought that this is a perfect, superset or kind of, let's say, an overlap between the demographics of people who like my kind of music will probably be people who enjoy the Quorum and vice versa. So I think, hopefully it'll get more people to appreciate what the Quorum has to offer, and hopefully more Quorum members will be, allowed an insight into the Druv Kent music and the Druv Kent world. So,
lovely. Also go check out www.druvkent.com, DRUVKENT.com. All right. Just as well he rolled in today because he's just released a brand new single which is called Wars Will Change Us. And if you go on to your friendly neighborhood streaming sites, Wars Will Change Us effectively now forms a 3-song EP, which he says is going to change to a 4-song EP because the 4th one is about to release, which is fantastic. But really important song lyrically, Wars Will Change Us, because it talks about our life and times in this day and age, Druv. I mean, what's happening to the world, man? And as a musician, like all writers and artists, as a singer-songwriter, you have your own worldview. Talk about the song.
Yeah, so I mean, we know what's happening in the world. We can see it. I think, it started with the song I wrote last year called Hope, right? Which was really driven by a rising awareness that I had as I have got young, kids of my own as well. And I could see the level of anxiety and depression within that younger adult community. And so that's where that song's come from, Hope. And I hope people are taking some, some empathy away and some kind of kindness away and some aspiration and hope away from that. So that's where it kind of might have started. But this song was written even earlier, Wars Will Change Us. It actually emanated after a fight I had with my wife. Right? And it is the
You mean a domestic war, my friend?
it was entirely a domestic war. And it wasn't even a war. It was a small, regular, let's say, border skirmish, let's just say. It was not really a war, right? But the point is, of course, the artist in me kind of, my point was, small things can lead to big problems, right? And that's what that's the idea that fed me when I wrote the song. This is the first song I wrote, Hrishi. The first song ever. And it's being released like 2 days ago. So it's taken a while to just, come forward because I wasn't really sure, is it ready? Is it not ready? But the point is, this is...
Even so, you wrote it even before A Little Bit of God.
I wrote it before A Little Bit of God.
That means so little has changed in the world.
Yes, that is true. But I think this is the most fitting time.
It is.
That, so talking about, why...
Every song has its own destiny.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have little control over when it's actually going to come out, and it's happened. Yeah.
Beautifully said. It's really true because they become like living things on their own. And today, as you kind of alluded to, what the world that we're living in, which is filled not just with lack of hope almost and a dystopian kind of point of view that so many people seem to have, younger people in particular, but some of the older people of our generation, and I would call ourselves in that, who are responsible and should be able to affect change, we're not doing enough to prevent the world from having all the sorrow and wars when these are changeable things. So that's the real...
Wisdom can be used either to bring peace into this world, or wisdom can be used to manipulate people, which is so awful that people are choosing the latter.
Yeah.
And indeed, your producers are Callum and Simon, and these are guys you go back a long way.
A long way with. These guys are literally, musical geniuses. It's interesting. So Callum is Ronan Keating's producer, right, and his live manager and live music director, right? So he's been that for years since I got to know him. And he's the one who kind of has given me inspirational ideas on so many of my songs, in terms of guitar parts, like High Time, that beautiful guitar lick, so that's a Callum-inspired kind of, through a conversation that we were having musically around, where High Time could go. Don't Burn Away, same thing, that got that very hooky kind of guitar, electronica guitar kind of play. So Callum is one of those genius guitar players, and he's a producer as well. And Simon is the guy who is a bass player, but he's got this very, like in Back Home, which after the, I want to go all that way back home. And then there's a lovely electronica. That's a completely manufactured, spliced of different things, which, Simon Edwards has come up with. Or Bit at a Time, which has got a beautiful lead bass guitar line, which is again him. So these are beautiful things which these people have contributed into my music. So big shout out to them.
There you have it. Wars Will Change Us. Go and sample it at your favorite streaming sites. We'll also start getting airplay done right here on 94.3 Radio 1, so you will hear it. Go and check out Druv Kent in fine form. I want to go back to last year. Hope is a song that you did with Rudy Valang.
Yes.
Rudy is a regular in the Mumbai circuit. We look forward to hearing him play with Soulmate, which is his blues band, at the Mahindra Blues. And even otherwise, we've heard him at iRock, Independence Rock. A legend in the guitar scene, really, Rudy.
Yes, absolutely.
And to collaborate with him must be very meaningful. And secondly, the song is also special because it provides hope. But you've got both your boys, 17-year-old boys, 17 and 19.
Yeah.
doing backing vocals. Is that the
Backing.
first time they collaborated with you? Yeah.
They've done a lot of stuff they've never got credit for, frankly, because being in the house, they kind of keep saying, "No, Papa, that's not a good idea," and then like, okay, so the song changes, literally. So that keeps happening. But in this case, I kind of employed them, so to speak, without pay, which is seems to be
It's a father's right and privilege. I'm just joking. Yeah, yeah.
seems to be part of the part of the course. So they both sang the backup vocals, and they're both beautiful musicians themselves. And they're a little shy to participate now because they've reached a certain age. When they were like 12, they thought I was like, the coolest thing in the world. And now they're like, okay, yeah, whatever. We'll do it. We'll do it, Papa. We'll do it. So they're going through that stage of life. But it's been beautiful to have them. Rudy, coming back to Rudy, the maestro, my brother, he's absolutely amazing. That guitar solo in Hope is one of the most sublime moments in that song. And he just went at it. He said, "No, this is not quite right. I'll do it one more time. I want to just get this, there's a hint here which I want to get." And just beautiful. It's just soars.
And the lyric itself, were you going through a phase where you felt you needed to infuse yourself and your audience and your loved ones with hope?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it comes back to, the second verse is very telling in Hope, which is that, you say, speak your mind, tell me your thoughts, but you don't want to hear the thoughts that I got. I want to be you, I want to feel you, I want to be everything that, that you're about. And the thing is, so it reminded me of, sitting, being the therapist in a chair with a young person across from me. And you're trying to help that person, you're extending your hand, and they are not sure, they're anxious, they're not really sure how they can reach out and grab you. And you're like, I want to help you. Can you come out of that shell? It's okay. Life is not going to be that bad just because of climate change and we're not doing enough about it. Got it. Okay, there are too many wars, we're not doing too much about it. Got it. But you can be change yourself, so you've got to still hope, because if you don't hope, we got nothing.
Excellent. Dhruv, it's been a while. 2016 is when a little bit of God and the other songs came out. Obviously, all musicians evolve, but what would you say has been your biggest evolution as a singer-songwriter? Would you say there's more pathos in your songwriting? Would you say you improved as a guitar player? Would you say that the vocals are hitting newer notes than you ever did before?
I think it's maybe I would say it's the ability to recognize that change is inevitable and let it come. Don't stand in its way. First I thought, okay, I found something magical. Hold on to it, put it into a bottle, and put the cap on this. This is amazing, right? I found something. But then I realized that that the magic itself needs to breathe. And that's where the real magic can come from, that you allow yourself to go in different directions musically, explore different things. So actually I'm hugely excited about Wars Will Change Us, because I think if there ever was a time for an anti-war anthem, it's now, right? So I love that. But the fact is that, right now the songs I'm writing, which are going to be released early next year, are a fusion of my Indian aspects as well as my Western aspects in the same song. Not putting, which, is this an English song? Is this a Hindi song? So it's like, so I'm making Sufi refrains on my English songs, which is a trip, which trust me, people are not doing this. It hasn't been done. Now, whether they haven't done it because it's not a cool thing, I don't know, but I think it's beautiful. The songs are sounding lovely. So I would say it's being open, genuinely open to wherever your music is trying to take you, and not being shy, not saying this is the box I need to be in. No, it's the box, it doesn't exist.
Let's talk about my current favorite Druv Kent song. It's really grown on me. Wild, Then You Flow. I've been reading a lot of books about the flow theory. When you're in a state of flow, is when you're very present and you're able to devote time to deep work. Work that's truly uplifting for yourself as well as the larger common good. How would you describe flow for a musician or a singer-songwriter like you?
I think you firstly described it very well. So I was just going to applaud you. I was like, thank you for putting some words around it. I think flow is when, I would almost describe it as a process that you're going through when you lose track of time, you lose track of the doing. You don't even recognize that you are in a phase of trying to make something. You're just so childlike, you have such childlike kind of joy emerging from the process of what you're going through that you're, for lack of a better word, you're kind of tripping. I don't know if that's the best way to phrase it on a national radio station. But the point is that you are elevated beyond what is, regular consciousness. So people say that, but weren't you in your flow state when you were banking? And I was never, touch wood, I was not unhappy when I was banking, right? I was a banker. And I thought I was happy until I saw what genuine flow state is, which is when, and I'm not in the flow state at the moment, but I am in a flow state when I'm in the middle of creating, when I'm writing these songs. And that writing doesn't happen in an hour. It happens, a song can take 8 months between its first idea germinating and it coming out fully fleshed out and the mastering and ready for mastering. It's that many hours and months of sheer joy while you're getting on with, taking your kid to school in the daytime or filing your taxes or doing other things, the regular work of life. You're still in a flow state in your head because you're like, I'm going to get back to that song. I'm going to get back to my computer. I'm going to get back to my guitar. I know there's a word missing in that song and I need to rephrase this point. That is the flow state that I think is just magic. So you could be an author, you could be a banker, frankly. It could kind of perhaps get you that excited. I don't know. But it didn't happen to me when I was a banker.
I find the video, we haven't talked of videos at all. The video for Wild and You Flow to be quite fascinating. It's very retro.
Yeah.
It's got these old Chevys off Miami Beach with the Art Deco buildings. It's got vinyls. It's got spool players.
Yeah.
Back when I started doing radio, this is the era of playing ads through spool players,
Right.
actual tapes. And it got me going very nostalgic. And nostalgia is a good thing, man. Retro is a good thing. So talk to me about that, the help that you've been getting on your videos. Ultimately, it all has to flow through you, like you said to me off the mic. But talk to me about that, the process of making that video.
So, so that song in particular, because it has this very 70s-ish kind of, the choral kind of feel, the soar, and the kind of guitar sounds that we kind of chose. Again, this is a Callum guitar sound choice that he went with. Actually, he went with something different and then we morphed it into what you hear now on the record. And because he went with that, it kind of puts the song in a certain timescape. And I thought, we could go with the video in either of two ways. One is you can completely modernize it and throw it on its head, right? That could be a completely legitimate way to do it. But I said, no, let's just go completely honest with the vision when the song was written, right? It was written with that kind of thing about you could be wild when you're young, but you now are flowing because you now have recognized that wildness is not genuinely flow, like going crazy,
True.
Having alcohol, whatever it is, right? Whatever your fascination
Your
with.
idea of high was.
Oh, yeah, whatever your idea of high was, exactly. But that is not necessarily what high needs to be. High could be literally a beautiful plateau state of just staying at a certain elevated sense of consciousness and joy. And it can happen, right? It doesn't stay there all the time because real life will continue to kind of come back and bring you down to reality. But that is what the song is really about, that you're wild and you think, whoa, this is it. But actually not. So we said, okay, let's make the video something like, nostalgic and something like, okay, this is what one would consider to be, because the soundscape is there. And then, those are always kind of, it gives you kind of a flow state for people like you and me who belong to a certain generation. We look at that stuff and say, That was pretty cool.
It actually segues very beautifully into the other 2025 song, Druv Kent song called High Time.
Yes, high time.
Uh,
Yeah.
I love this whole adult contemporary pop meets country kind of sound. I mean, it's lovely. And you're straight true to the Druv Kent sound, at least in your English material,
Yeah.
which is wonderful for me. Talk
Yeah.
to me about High Time.
High time is actually really about finding time for yourself, and it almost feels like it's slightly on the selfish side that it's about me, but so what? I mean, we all need this little bit of space to just have to ourselves, and that's what the song is. That I want some time just for me. This is not about it's not about anti anybody around you, right? You've got family and beautiful people around you who keep you propped up and who love you and support you every day, but you still need a little bit of place, a little bit of space to just be able to be just yourself and do just what you want to do. And that's really what it is, and that's the song. This is my high time. It's also ironically phrased because it's high time that I did what I wanted to do in my context. But the idea is everyone should have their own high time and me time.
Beautiful. Dhruv, I was going across a streaming site, a platform, while preparing for this interview. Part of it is, of course, listening to your music, but also trying to come up with stories that concern your life. And there's a fascinating story that you tell about a famous musician, God bless his soul, who visited the Doon School where you studied as a kid.
Right.
I leave you to tell the story.
Oh, wow. Wow. This is Pandit Ravi Shankar, who visited the Doon School when I was in grade 10. And he was, of course, already a maestro. And I just knew of this. And I was born in Calcutta, obviously, so into a family which had very close classical roots. So I knew him by reputation. But really, I was a bit of a Western music, and don't look at me like that. Like, exactly, because you do.
Exactly. Kindred souls.
Kindred
We're
souls.
kindred souls, man.
Yeah, so you get it, right? So I was always like, I'm a Western music guy, So because of a lot of other people I had already, who were around my family, who were very famous Indian classical musicians, I had already been trained in tabla by some very famous people, and which is beautiful. But I always had my eye on the drums. So when Pandit Ravi Shankar comes, I'm like, wow, what am I supposed to do here? And because I'm one of the trusted music students already at that stage in school, I am told that I am his chief escort kind of thing. I have to kind of take care of him.
And for a boy in his 10th standard, was it? Yeah. It's a big thing.
And the big thing. And in those days, and not in those days, in the Indian tradition, that means you literally have to clean his feet, take his chappals.
Guru Shishya Parampara.
Guru Shishya Parampara. So so I'm doing all that, and I'm really not sure, what I'm actually doing, what I'm supposed to do. I'm trying to just fumble my way through this thing. And then he sits down and I'm told that he's going to compose a song. And we're like, what? What is the song? And remember, this is a long time ago. We didn't know people could just compose songs. It wasn't an idea. Now everyone knows that you can just compose a song, right? It took me a lifetime to figure that out, and then I just changed my life when I figured that out 10 years ago. But this gentleman sits over there cross-legged, and we're like 15 children sitting cross-legged on the ground, and he's about 4 feet higher than us, right? Just sitting on a little pedestal. So and we've got banyan trees around us in Doon School. It's beautiful, right? A lovely budgery on the floor. So we're just like in a lovely outdoor a seated kind of area, and he starts composing a tune, sitting there, and it's just words which are different, like kind of classical music kind of tals. So he starts singing this kind of thing, and suddenly it becomes a full song, and we're just entranced.
Wonderment.
That this from nothing, plucking from the air, he's just going in different directions, and this becomes our song. So that was my first, I guess, singer-songwriter creative experience to see this firsthand. Yeah. So it was beautiful, and it became a beautiful song for all of us.
I tell you what, I'm going to keep this nugget, and when Anushka Shankar comes in the next time around to promote her next album or single, and when she does come from London town, she does pay us a visit. I'm going to play this back for her. It's lovely, wonderful memories of her father, the great Pandit Ravi Shankar.
Yeah.
All right, my brother. I leave you to play for us on acoustic guitar, singing in your velvety tone, a song of your choice. What are you singing for us?
I thought we'll do Wanna Love Again, which I've never done with you, right? So I
like
thought
it.
we'll do it. And this song is about not, it's about the joy you feel when you fall deeply and completely in love. It's not. It's about because we don't. I think as once you grow up, you don't really find that complete enthrallment that you have when you're like 16, 18. Some of my friends were 25, but when I was 16, right, when I first had this kind of a thing, and I had it again at 18, and again I had it at 20, maybe. But the point is that love, that's what I miss sometimes, that deep sense of abandonment. So that's what the song is about.
Okay, let's go for it. Here we go. Druv Kent in the house, singing for us live. Excellento, excellento. Druv Kent fans, this is an opportunity for you to see him absolutely live. If you're at the Quorum in Gurgaon and the Quorum in Mumbai, as in if you're members, you can just walk in. If you're non-members, you can register. Gurgaon, the Druv Kent Band plays October 24th, Friday, 9 p.m. Mumbai at the Quorum, October the 25th, Saturday, 9 p.m. Get onto the Druv Kent Instagram handle. On the profile page, you will see clickable links. One, of course, is his YouTube channel. The other just says links. And you can click on that and register, because non-members need to register. And please do so, because they know, it's a confined space. They need to know how many people will come in. I guarantee you're going to have a great time. And please check out druvkent.com, druvkent.com. Thank you, my brother, for rolling by. This was really special, and most importantly, playing for us. Cheers.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you guys.
94.3 Radio 1.